Okay, guys, I'm here today with Jackson Nagai. Huge honor for me. Guys, the current middleweight world champion as a black belt on IBJJF in 2024. And now you and your brother are both world champions. His brother, Samuel Nagai, he won the featherweight last year. And so now another two brothers here in the Jiu-Jitsu community that are both world champions. And guys, Jackson is shooting his first instructional videos here with us at IBJJF Fanatics. He did one all about Osotogari for Jiu-Jitsu, and then another one all about guard passing for Jiu-Jitsu. And today he's gonna show us here some of his favorite passings for in Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay, guys. First one, let's start for close guard. The way I want to show you guys this is not like I'm gonna show you one position exactly. I just want to show you guys how I think about passing the guard works. I think when you understand the system, what is passing guard, I think it's gonna be easier for you to fight, to roll. So for me, when the guy play guards, the way I see it, he making a lot of doors with locks. Like for example, Professor now, he's playing close guard. So he's making a lock on my hips, my full body. From here, he can attack everything. From close guard, you can do whatever you want. I think for close guard, you can do all submissions in Jiu-Jitsu. Loop choke, you can enter for knee bar, you can do arm bar, you can do kimura, you can do everything. That's the most danger guard. Back in the days, old school guys, they used to do a lot of close and half guard. And Jiu-Jitsu right now is like De La Riva, one leg, everybody changing up. But now we can see young guys like Mika, he's doing a lot of close guard. Yep. It's became popular again. And I love to do close guard on bottom, and I hate to be on top. Because I feel like for me to work here, I have to open the legs first. And that's a lot of work. I think that's why this guard pass is gonna work so pretty much for you guys. And the way I see Professor make doors with lock, I have to figure out the key to open this. And every key is one key for one door. For example, this one is one key. After I open this, Professor have a lot of chance to make another door. Yep. If I open here, he can make another door with half. Because I know Professor is good in half guard with the lapel. So it's another guard. A lot of people, another door. A lot of people, I open this door and they make a lasso. That in my weight division, I follow middleweight this year, but I compete Pan Am's lightweight. Normally I find lightweight. Everybody like lasso. Every time I open this door with one key, they get my sleeve and they make another lock. They make another door. If you get crazy here, imagine yourself going to the room. The door is locked and you try to go through without the key. You're gonna get crazy here and you're gonna get tired, and that's when your opponent gonna tap you out. So you gotta figure out, this is another key. So for every guard, every door, you gotta have a different key. I think that's the way I see passing. And that's the way I see technique. You know, a lot of people, they think technique is about strength. You gotta use a lot of strength in one position. I think technique is equal move. Every time you use technique, you're moving. So the one I use from here, I always control my opponent's hips below. Because what did my opponent want from me? He wanted me to overstretch my arm. That's when he get arm bars here. Yep. So I never pass this line, never. If I pass this line, I already know, oh, I'm losing. I always try to put my hands in the pants or hands in the belt. For me, the strong grip in Jiu-Jitsu is even legal in Judo, is the belt one. Because the only grip, you touch your fingers together. Other grips, see, I always have material. It's not that strong enough. Right here too, it's not strong enough. Pants is not strong enough. Your skin doesn't touch each other. This one, I touch my skin right here. I think that's the stronger belt, that grip. It's hard for the guy on bottom to break it. Now's the deal. Now's the important thing. I gotta figure out which foot is on bottom. When he locking the guard over there, I gotta use my palm and feel which foot is on bottom. So I use my palm and I go all the way to the back and I see the right side foot is in the bottom. That's where I have to apply my strength. So I go back to the belt, left knee in the middle. I open my base wide. I don't want to put like this because I'm going to be off balance. L, I be in L. And now the bottom foot, I apply strength on the knee. That's when I'm going to open. Some people, they're so strong. You go here, you apply pressure, and they don't open. People are strong in Jiu-Jitsu. I know we have the thing culture saying about technique, but people in Jiu-Jitsu, they're so strong. This time when I feel like, wow, I can move, then I use my hips to open the lock. And from here, we can start setting up a lot of passing, a lot of different situations. We can drop this knee. We also can overstep, and we start going for knee cut. So we can do a lot of things. And the hard part is figuring out which foot is on bottom. Because if you mess, for example, now the left foot is on top, right foot is on bottom, and you go to the left side. Right here, your opponent is going to be so much strong because this leg here on bottom is giving support for this one. You're pushing, and the other leg is making support. So you're gonna use a lot of strength here just to open the guard. If you go to the right side, it's easier. You don't have to waste that much energy.
That's super interesting. I had never thought about it. It makes total sense.
Total sense.
Yeah.
It's a little detail change a lot of things.
How do you, the only way you can figure out which foot is on the bottom is using your hands, or there is another way as well?
It's two ways.
Okay.
That's the thing. When you watch my brother fighting collar belt, I used to yell a lot. And now I used to yell for the side, the foot on bottom.
Oh, so the person on the side can
yeah, you coach. That's why it's important about having coach.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, when you have a coach, sometimes your coach help you so much. Like I say in the technique, sometimes you don't know which hands in which collar. Sometimes right here, the opponent have their hands here. Oh, you're safe to go. You can put pressure on. But sometimes the hands right here, and you don't have time to check. In the real fight, we saw in the adrenaline, we so stressed out, we don't have time to check. So sometimes you have a coaching yelling you like, hey, watch out for the cross collar. Then you remember to break this. The same thing about the foot. Sometimes you can touch because your opponent have both hands control. And if you let go the grip, the belt, he's gonna have control for your hands. Sometimes I let go and my opponent switch his hand inside like here, and he blocks me to go again. So when you hear, you gotta listen to your coach. If he's in the back like, oh, the right foot is on bottom, so you already know. Bring your left, there you go.
No, and it's funny because I have seen this way to open the guard, but in my mind it's like, man, this doesn't work because probably the person is going to the wrong side.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you go to the right side, it does make sense.
Makes sense.
It's not that hard to open. So all I have to do is to control my belt, stretch your
belt.
leg, and push the knee down.
Yes.
As long as you are in the right side. Man, this is fascinating.
And also, like, if you feel your opponent legs super strong, like you can fight against the arm because legs always gonna be stronger than arm.
Yeah.
So you figure out which leg's on bottom. Then sometimes you go here. You try to fight with your hands. It's like, wow, this guy just stronger than me. This time you gotta use the leverage. You gotta lose your body, pushing back. So when I push my body back, it's already opening. Then I put the pressure.
Can you feel the knee over there?
Yes.
Yeah. Man, that's so nice. And okay, and then once you open, Jackson, do you have any other trick to pass the guard? Just like this one, for example, that's kind of like.
Yes, I have two passes I really love from here. Like actually, I do these two passes for everywhere. De la Riva, everywhere. It's very, very, very basic and very powerful pass. So always when I open my opponent guard, boom, I try to go or more to the right or more to the left. I never stay in the middle right here.
Okay.
In this center, I give you opportunity to play guard for both sides. If I go more to my left, I already know which side my opponent is gonna pass the guard. Gonna play the guard. Right here, my opponent is gonna play the guard to my right side. So I go here, 1, 2. That's when I start passing the guard. Right here, I just feel how my opponent reacts. The same way I did the takedown del Soto, I give my opponent something, then I go. That's the way I do guard passing. I never put in my head, I'm gonna do this right now. I have to feel the momentum. Yep. Like if I feel his leg super strong with initial, I already know I'm gonna have trouble to pass to the right. I put my palm on the knee and I go to the other side. When he thinks I'm gonna pass to the other side, that's when I scoop my leg back and I start passing to this side again.
Got it. So you go for the knee cut, you come back to the mirror, and you go to that side.
Yes, then I go to the same side. Just to confuse my opponent. Because a lot of times you hear, right? And your opponent's like, oh, he's setting up his guard for this way. He's like, oh, I gotta protect this way. I gotta make a frame, bicep, shoulder, don't let him get my head. When you switch for the knee and you go here, he's like, oh, I can play maybe De La Riva in this side. That's when you back step and you start passing the guard.
Man, that's nice.
Yeah, you got a trick. I think Jiu-Jitsu is like a trick game.
You were all about tricks. You're gonna take that here. Oh, that's awesome.
And another way I like to pass is when I drive my right leg to the mat. Like I'm here, for example, I open this, instead I lift my closed leg to go to the knee cut. Now, always I like to have more options. Like I say, Jiu-Jitsu is about fighting your opponent. And every time when you fight, when you're at war, things like that, you gotta have a lot of weapons. You gotta have a lot of combos. Sometimes you don't wanna put your left knee. You wanna put your right knee. So I like this position a lot. Every time when I win this position, I get the collar, elbows in, and I bring this leg open right here. I don't get my base super close, because if you lock your legs, like fists together, right here I lose all my balance. If you block this arm, I'm already off balance to my right. If you shake me, I'm gonna fall. So every time I put pressure here, I open my base very wide, and I keep the hook behind the knee. So right here, I'm in control. Now the way I pass here is depends on my opponent. If my opponent stay here, I just back step and pass. If he try to bring the knee shield, when he bring this knee shield, I control his ankle close to his butt, and I go to the other side. So there's no pass right here.
Got it.
Every time I put your ankle close to your butt, you lose your leg strength.
Got it.
Doesn't matter how strong you are. When you have space here, you're really strong. You can do scissor sweep, you can do everything. But when I put this foot close to your knee, you lose your muscle strength, the thigh strength. That's when I come up a little bit and I go to this side.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah. No, so guys, as you can see, like Jackson is the type of guy who he pretty much has a system with a lot of tricks, and that's very interesting, because I think like in Jiu-Jitsu, if you have a way to confuse your opponent, or if you have a way to take something that's very basic and make it a little bit more complicated on your opponent's mind, I think that's like a good thing. So, you know, this way you showed to open the close guard, I have seen that position like since like years and years ago. But the idea of going to the right side, and that makes like a massive difference, you know.
Yes.
And same thing with the two passings that you showed. Like you pretend you're going to the knee cut, you come back to the mirror, and then you
trick it.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's so interesting. Yeah. So guys, Jackson shot an entire structure all about guard passing for BJJ fanatics. It's gonna be on the website anytime soon. So maybe by the time you were watching, it's already there. So make sure to check that out. And thanks so much, Jackson.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Professor.
it. Thank you. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTube Faria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.